the Igbo in Africa, their life revolves around yams, and in Germany and Northern Europe, they like potatoes because they're cheap, they're good, and well, what's not to love? So, the goal is to grate the potatoes. So now we're going to take this loveliness, if this will come off, and put it in a cloth to strain out all the starch. The goal is to make it so that the potato kind of dries out so it'll stay together. So what we do, take this, fold the towel on top, just squeeze. Isn't that lovely? Anyway, now that we have the potatoes done, we're going to start grinding up the onion here. Shove that in. So, a lot of people think that latkes, or potato pancakes, are just Jewish, but they're really not. It's a whole Northern European thing. They have them in Austria, Germany, Belarus, Latvia, Lithuania, Russia. Alright, so now we're going to add 1 egg. Yummy, yummy in your tummy. Don't know about the cholesterol. A teaspoon of baking powder. A teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper. And 2 tablespoons of flour. So the reasons that the potato or the yam is so common in these certain areas is because of their environment. In Northern Europe, it's really cool all the time, so potatoes can grow easily. And in Africa, they have a pretty good environment for growing yams. So really shows how the environment is connected to their food. You know, what you can eat or what you can grow affects what you're gonna eat and cook and the local cuisine. Alright, so the Igbo in Things Fall Apart have the New Yam Festival to celebrate the season of the yam harvest and, you know, to honor the goddess of the earth who graced them with the ability to have land for growing yams. And actually in Germany they have a similar thing, and it's some funny style German something. I don't know the exact pronunciation. So now we're going to get ready to fry these babies. And we just want enough oil to cover the bottom of the pan and kind of give them a little bath, you know, so they can kind of get a little yummy, get the crisp edges. Yeah. So we're just going to let that oil heat up, and what I usually do is, of course you can make them any size, but I tend to make them about a 1/4 cup of the mixture and just sort of plop them in there. You can usually get about, depending on their size, maybe a dozen potato pancakes or latkes, whichever you prefer to call them, per batch. So now what we're doing is we're just going to kind of flatten these guys out. Alright, now they just sort of sit there and get yummy. So the Igbo have a couple dishes such as fufu and ura, and some other things, like one I found was called gisu, which is another type of kind of porridge. These are actually in German are referred to as Kartoffelpuffer, which is potato pancake. And they also have some things like spatzel, which is noodle noodles that are made out of potatoes. They have, what's it called? These like potato dumpling, yummy, delicious things that they throw in soups and stuff. So what I'm really showing here is that, you know, in countries where they have one or a couple major staple vegetables, foods, things like that, they find a lot of ways to cook them. They really, you know, expand on the way one thing can be made so they can have a whole variety of cuisine. And there we go. Voila.